everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Mostly Wrong Opinions. I am Tyrone. That is Devin. Today, we have a cautionary tale on the show, all right? Don't gamble, okay? Don't do it.
Don't do it.
We have Adam Sandler in his dramatic role, Uncut Gems.
Would you, because everyone's like, would you consider yourself Ye's muse?
Yeah, a little, maybe.
What is a muse?
I mean, I was Josh Safdie's muse when he wrote Uncut Gems.
Right,
Gems.
right,
Gems.
right.
Gems. He's got a wife who hates him. He's got a girlfriend who he thinks might be cheating on him.
A child that despises him.
Yeah. And he's got so many people who want him dead. Like all of New York just wants to see this man dead. Because he probably owes everyone in New York at least $1 or $2. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude loans and borrows money from everybody, and his life is just pure chaos. In this movie, the director does such a good job showing this like chaos.
It is a crime shame that Adam Sandler was not nominated for an Academy Award for this film, because I got lost. And when an actor can make you believe the character and you get lost in it, I didn't see Adam Sandler.
No, he vanishes.
I saw a dude who was so helpless, and there's a scene where he's breaking down, crying over the things that he has done, over the way that he feels. It's like a disease to him, that he knows that he has this disease, and he feels like there is no cure.
I don't know what I'm thinking. I don't know. Everybody's not ever going right.
I know.
I'm so sad. I'm so fucked up.
Let's paint this picture a little bit of why I think Adam Sandler probably should have gotten at least nominated for an Oscar for this film. Adam Sandler's character, it's very clear immediately that this man is an addict, but he's not a drug addict. He's a gambling addict, which is something I haven't seen that often in film. And this movie really depicts it, to me, really, really well. And he keeps putting in all these bets, so many bets. Some of them are really good, I guess, because they work, and some of them are bad because they don't work. It's just complete chaos. He's always borrowing things and loaning it out, moving things around. He loses $1 here to gain $3 there. It's just absolute madness. And Adam Sandler portrays that Adam Sandler has built a career on playing man children, right? People who are essentially kids, but in a grown man's body.
Yes.
Right? And this movie does a really good job of doing that yet again, but showing that how in real life, how absolutely destructive that is. You cannot, being a man child at 50 something with kids and a wife, my God, you can't do this. This is so dangerous, so chaotic. It's not cute at all. It's not funny anymore, right? No. It's absolutely terrifying. I want to paint the picture a little bit better in that this character named Howard, he owns a jewelry store in the Diamond District in New York.
Yeah.
And Howard's jewelry store, more or less, is a front for him to fund his gambling habit, because he will get a piece of jewelry, and then he will loan it so he can have money to bet more money, and then he'll buy back the jewelry that he just loaned from someone else. It's the most ridiculous shell game, and he does this over and over and over. And he has, before the movie starts, he has done this so much that people want him dead. He has not paid back his loans. He is on the run from these guys. One of them, there's a little bit of a twist here where sometimes one of them is his freaking brother, right? So before the film starts, he comes up with this great idea. He's like, you know what? I heard about these black opals in Africa, in Ethiopia. If I can get my hand on one of those, I think those things be worth millions. So he finally gets one, and you could tell that there was a whole rigmarole in him getting it, because he gets it out of a fish. So you know he was up to no good getting this thing.
Yeah.
So he finally gets it, and he's like, I'm gonna put this up for auction and get all this money. It's gonna be so great.
Yeah.
And Kevin Garnett comes in. Kevin Garnett, he loves the black opal. He thinks it's the most amazing thing in the world.
It gives him good luck.
Yeah. So he's like, you know what? I'll use this. I will loan the black opal to Kevin Garnett before the auction. By the way, I'll loan the black opal to Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett will loan me his his championship ring. I'll turn around, loan the championship ring to this guy, get the money from that to place a monster bet. It's ridiculous. You're like, and it's so chaotic. You're like, what do you stop?
You scream at the screen of stop doing this. You are not gonna come out on top.
Oh my god, it's so stupid. And Adam Sandler does such a great job. He's just such an amazing job of portraying all this chaos and what this does to a person. Oh my gosh, like you said, he's like breaking down. He's losing his mind. Gosh, he was great in this movie. Specifically,
his gambling debts involve the NBA. He loves the NBA. Adam Sandler in real life loves the NBA, and in this film, he loves the NBA, and he's a Knicks fan, but he is betting on the Celtics so much because around this time, it takes place in 2012. The Knicks were horrible. So sorry, people in New York. But the Knicks
fun fact, it took place in 2012 because that's when they wrote this film. And they just were like, you know what? We're not going to update it for today. We'll just leave it. It'll be a timepiece now, which I thought was kind of clever. I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. So Kevin Garnett is playing a younger version of himself, which I think is kind of funny.
Which they did. Only thing they did is like Kevin Garnett is acting in the film. Was it 6 years later? He's acting in the film, but he's already retired by then. So they're just playing the clips. They're playing the clips from his playoff season. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they're using that as a story, as a story arc, to where Adam Sandler is betting on when the tip-off happens, how many rebounds he has. Oh, it's like to the tiniest things
smallest thing
that you bet on that you do not know can happen. It's a basketball game. Okay, anything can happen.
Don't know what's gonna happen.
I want to make a 6-way parlay. Celtics, Sixers game. What's the line?
Still +1.
+1. Okay, so I want the Celtics to cover. I want the Celtics halftime. I want Garnett points and rebounds. Garnett block shots. Celtics opening tip. Do you take lightning bets?
Yeah, but you don't want any part of lightning bets.
Fine.
Come on.
$1,000 a point. Okay, take this.
Oh my
it's not
gosh.
like who wins, who loses. It's what Kevin Garnett is specifically doing in that because Kevin Garnett has this stone that's very rare, and he feels like it gives him like 50 points a game and 20-something rebounds.
I mean, this is old school, Middle Earth shit.
Got a motherfucking dinosaur gym in this, man.
The dinosaurs, that's right. The dinosaurs fucking stared at this thing. It's 110 million years old. The least.
Basketball.
Can't lean on glass.
So Adam Sandler wants to exploit that. Okay.
Right. Yeah, and it's
let's not forget.
What's interesting is
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for interrupting you. Let's not forget that Lakeith Stanfield is in this film too.
Oh yeah, Lakeith Stanfield is here too.
And
and what's funny is at first you think he's irresponsible at first because the whole movie comes from Adam Sandler's point of view, and Adam Sandler's usually so frustrated at that character. But it turns out he's the responsible one. You know, he's often protecting Adam Sandler from ruining everything. Yeah, Lakeith Stanfield he's kind of an in between. He's someone that Howard has hired to try and bring celebrities to his shop, you know. And right now, this time he's brought Kevin Garnett, and Kevin Garnett's fallen in love with his black opal, which he absolutely positively he can't buy it from Adam Sandler because Adam Sandler's already promised to put it in the auction, but he's like, you can put in a bid, but I need the thing back so I can put it in the auction because if he doesn't get this thing in the auction, he's gonna lose $100,000 for this stone that he bought. Complete chaos. But one of the interesting things about the film, and this was my second time watching it, is that there are two sequences in this film where we just watch Adam Sandler watch TV, right?
Yeah.
and these are the most nail biting sequences in the movie. When you say it out loud, there's two sequences where Adam Sandler is just watching TV. That sounds incredibly boring, but
it's the way he's watching it because we know what
we
goes
understand
behind
the stakes.
Exactly.
The stakes couldn't be. They're so stupid high. They're so crazy high. And even his wife is watching him watch the game, and so Adam Sandler's like, because everything's so high stakes.
She's getting pissed. She's like, go upstairs and say goodnight to your son. All right, go upstairs. Now.
He's like, no, I can't do it. She's like, it's the first quarter. You can say goodnight to your son. It's okay, but she doesn't understand all the ridiculous, stupid bets that Howard's put in. It's just the chaos of this movie. This movie is just, if there is one singular theme, one singular word to describe this film, chaos. In a good way, though.
Chaos.
It was done very well. And chaotic.
It's chaotic in a sense also to where the dialogue is stacking on top of each other because Kanye West. Wow. I
wonder why.
I mean, Adam Sandler's character has to borrow so much and trade off and stack on things. These people are coming at him at different angles, whether he's on the phone, whether it's in his office, whether it's down the hallway to get into his thing. People are coming up to him on the street talking about, you gave me you owe me money, and he's like, here, take this Rolex, and he's like, sell it, and then that comes to bite him in the end. You know, the Rolex is fake. Oh yeah.
But let's talk about what you talked about before. You talking about how a lot of the dialogue is like on top of each other, right? This movie's shot in like a naturalistic way, where it almost looks like it's a documentary following around Howard, right? So people talk. There are multiple conversations happening at the same time. People talk on top of each other. When I hear that, I always think of Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg is really good at doing that, where there'll be someone talking on the phone, and someone's talking to that guy on the phone, and he's like, "Oh, give me a second," and he's talking to somebody else, but it's like this times 1,000.
I have Dr. Blauman on line 1.
My shit. Go ahead. Hi.
Howard?
Hi, doctor. What's going on?
Shit. What a god. Howard. What's a
Yes.
goddamn paper?
Please be quiet.
The movie's very good at starting all these storylines and then having them just like step on top of each other all at the same time, and all these storylines are happening at the same time, and all these people are talking at the same time, and it really, like I said, drives home this like complete chaotic feeling that this movie has.
So intense. And I think the reason why I said Kanye West is because his now ex is she's actually in the film. Julia Fox is in there,
right.
And she was eye candy, the weakest link acting in this film.
I thought she was pretty good. I thought she was a pretty good actor. She's not a trained actor, by the way.
But where she's talking to Harold in his office
Howard.
when he's at Howard, when he's at his lowest point and he's crying, and I'm like, and she's trying to cry too. I'm like, that's bad.
But some of that is like, you're not sure what her game is. Because I remember thinking initially that you're like, is she faking this? Did she just want? Yeah, does she just want his money or something? But no, she down. She like beyond down. I never when I was saw the movie, I was so surprised to see like how down she was for him. From what I understand, I think she was just the director's friend, and that's how she ended up in this movie. She's not an actor at all. I think she might have done a little bit of modeling, but she was completely unknown when this movie started. When this movie came out, she was just a friend of the director, and obviously she is blown right the hell up. And to me, I think I haven't seen her in anything else. I don't know if she was in something else. I don't remember her, but to me, I thought she did really good. She held her own against, I think, Adam Sandler at his full powers. This is great. Powers. Yeah.
By the end of this, we're not going to spoil it for you if you haven't seen it. It is on Netflix right now. Everything catches up to him, man. Yep. Everything catches up to him, and it goes. It's kind of like a funnel. You know what I'm saying? Like at the top of the funnel, he's feeding all this negativity and all this stuff, and there's only one exit, and it's very thin to where it has to come out, and it comes out abruptly, suddenly. And it's shocking, but it's also not shocking because it's like, that's the only way it's gonna happen, bro.
Yeah, I think it ended the only way this movie could end. So in the end, he makes this preposterous, ridiculous bet after he finally gets all the money he needs to pay off his debts. I
can't believe it.
he finally gets the money he needs, and he's literally milliseconds away from ending the movie happily. And then he's like, you know what? Let's place another bet. And you're like, oh. And that, to me, this is where Howard moved from kind of a sad good guy or a sad hero type character to the anti-hero. where I'm like, oh,
Yes.
Howard's the villain, right?
He's the villain of his own story.
Exactly. He's his own villain. And you're like, Howard's the bad guy. He has finally figured out how to get out of this mess, and he won't do it. He is his own villain. At that point, it felt like an M. Night Shyamalan type twist to me, where it recolored the whole film, where you're just like, oh,
I can see that.
He's a monster. You know what I mean? He cheated on his wife. He's been gambling all his money away. He's hurting his kids at their recital. He's a bad guy. And I've spent this whole movie rooting for a villain. And when he gets his comeuppance, you're just like, well, that's kind of what you deserve, dude.
And then you just feel so much for him.
But Kevin Garnett's character had like the one line now that I rewatched it, he had like a line that I thought was really potent. And it was like at the end, he was like, well, how much did you pay for the stone? And he was like, oh, I can't tell you. I can't tell you how much I paid for the stone. He was like, oh, come on, tell me how much you paid for the stone. And he's like, okay, I paid $100,000 for it. And Kevin Garnett was like, you paid $100,000 for the stone? And you thought you were going to get $1 million? Does that even sound right? And, and you can tell Adam Sandler's like, well, you can tell he was like vulnerable right there. Like he realized how fucking dumb that sounded.
Oh, let's talk about this real quick. There's a certain thing that I really enjoyed about this film. The soundtrack. The sound that's in this film. It's like they took jazz horns and mixed it with like
a synth type of deal.
Like synth, I want to say astronomy. It's like astronomy type of thing. Because the whole thing about the gem that they got was that they say you can see into the stars and millions of years into space because it's that old.
And there's this great line where Adam Sandler's like, "Look at that thing! That's an ancient rock right there. Freaking dinosaurs was looking into this rock." I love that line. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs were looking in that rock.
But yeah, the soundtrack was really great because it revved up when it needed to be in the intense parts of the film. It also it mellowed out when it comes to like where Adam Sandler is making these decisions.
It was an odd choice for that soundtrack. It was an odd choice for that soundtrack, and it worked out really well. And so I really appreciate that.
Yeah, very odd. And the visual concepts of sometimes when the camera is zooming in and the special effects comes into where it's looking at the mineral and they're looking at the rock at a microscopic form. It looks really cool. It looks like it's in space. Really cool stuff.
Psychedelic kind of weird type of thing, like almost hypnotic. Yeah, and you're like, what in the hell? But what's funny is twice they do that, and both times you look into the rock. And then it opens up the first shot of this film, or the first time we see Adam Sandler, we're looking up Adam Sandler's asshole, which I think is hilarious. Because he's getting the colonoscopy, and the rock is showing these beautiful stars, and then it just like slowly turns into his asshole. And it's like, makes total sense because this guy is the ultimate asshole.
So people, I'm gonna go ahead and get into my review for this. I really enjoyed this pick here. Devin recommended this. And Adam Sandler's acting, bravo to that. Kevin Garnett did pretty good too.
He did great.
Everyone did a good job in this. Yeah, Julia Fox did a good job as acting, but it's just that one scene that just turned me off. But other than that, this film deserves high praise. I'm gonna give this film a 9.5.
Wow, okay. I'm right there with you, man. I'm giving it a 9. I like this movie quite a bit. It's one of those movies that when you're watching it, you can't sit still. I feel like I had bubble guts. I feel like I had bubble guts the whole time this movie was going. You know
I was like,
you can't sit still. It's not a comfortable, easy watch. It's not a breezy thing. You're just squirming the whole time. You're like, but it is when it's done. I couldn't get this movie out of my head. You know what I mean? I thought about this movie. I thought this movie for weeks afterwards. I thought about it for a long time. So that's always a really good sign. And the fact that Kevin Garnett, who is not an actor, Julia Fox, who at the time was not an actor, they both turned in pretty good performances. I think that's a testament, probably, it could be to their skill, but it also is probably to Safdie. I think the director did a great job of pulling the absolute most out of people who were not actors. And then when he dealt with a real actor, when he dealt with someone like Adam Sandler, my God, he elevated him to a level that I had never seen Adam Sandler at before. I knew Adam Sandler was a good actor, but to me, this is, especially for a dramatic role, this is by far the best that I've ever seen him do. And it is an absolute shame that he was not nominated. Robbery. Yeah. Man.
Well, people, that I gave this film a 9.5. Devin gave this film a 9. Go see it right now. Just go sit on your couch. Shoot, watch it on your tablet or your phone. All right.
Yeah.
That is our review for Adam Sandler's Uncut Gems.
This is me. This is how I win.
All right, we'd like to thank you guys for clicking on this video. Thank you very much. It makes our day making these reviews for you. If you can do us a favor, it's right there to the right side of your screen. It's a big red word that says subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. It's really, really neat, and you'll feel better when you do it. You know what I'm saying?
It feels great.
It feels great. You know what else feels great? Hit that notification bell so you stay up to date with everything that we do on Mostly Wrong Opinions. Like,
holy shit, I'm gonna come.
And that's what you're gonna feel like right there. All right, that's what you're gonna feel like. So you stay up to date with everything we do on Mostly Wrong Opinions. You know what I'm saying? And hit that thumbs up if you like this review. You know what I'm saying? We work hard at it. Or you can hit your thumbs down and you can be like, gambling is the best thing in the world, man. I won my yacht off of gambling, and then I gambled my yacht for my house, and I gambled my house for my kids.
Okay, Howard. Okay,
Howard. Geez, whatever you want to do, it is your opinion. But just remember one major thing: it is mostly wrong. Actually, gambling's all wrong. See you guys in another film review.